Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so chapter 18, perfection of renunciation, conclusion. So we've come to the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Arjuna Vacha Sannyasasya Mahabhavo Tattvam Ichchami Veditum Tyagasya Cha Rishikesha Pratakheshi Nishudana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, Sannyasa, a killer of the Keshi demon. Keshi Nishudana means killer of Keshi demon. Master of the senses, Rishikesha. Yagasya cha Rishikesha Pratak Keshi Nisudana. 2 times, 2 different names Arjuna is using to address Krishna. Okay, so here he is asking about Tyaga and Sannyasa. What is the purpose of Tyaga and Sannyasa? Purport. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is finished in 17 chapters. Over. Bhagavad Gita is over. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. Though it's a summarization, it will still tell us, like, summaries of very conclusive truths about Bhagavad Gita. In every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. The same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge, which means there is so many types of knowledge, but what is the most confidential knowledge is this Bhakti Seva. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmanam shaddavan bhajate yomam same yuktatomo mataha. Yoginam api sarvesham, of all yogis or transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. One who always thinks of me. We should think how far we are from this. Always think of him. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature and activity were discussed. In the third 6 chapters, means last 6 chapters, knowledge, renunciation, activities of material nature, gunas. So we discussed this, all different gunas, and transcendental nature, divya, divine nature and demoniac nature, and devotional service were described. It was concluded that all acts should be performed in conjunction with the Supreme Lord, represented by the words Om Tat Sat, which indicate Vishnu, the Supreme Person. The third part of Bhagavad Gita has shown that devotional service and nothing else is the ultimate purpose of life. This has been established by citing past Acharyas and Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra. It is Om Tat Sat, basically. Certain impersonalists consider themselves to have a monopoly on the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra. But actually, the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service. For the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and he is the knower. Vedanta Krit, Veda Anta. Vedanta Sutra is Veda Anta. Vedanta Krit, Veda Videva Chaham. Krishna is saying, I am the Vedanta Krit. I am the creator of this Vedanta, Veda Anta, which is Vedanta Sutra. That is described in the 15th chapter. In every scripture, every Veda, devotional service is the objective. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. As in the 2nd chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. In the 18th chapter, also a summary of instruction is given. Purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of transcendental position above the 3 modes. Because Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayajitah Janaiti Ashu Vairagyam Gnanam Shayadahitukam. So Gnana and Vairagya automatically develop for a person who engages in Bhakti. Should develop. But if you are not engaging in Bhakti properly, then it won't develop. But for somebody who is actually engaged properly in practice of sadhana Bhakti, Gnana and Vairagya both will develop. So here they are saying one is Vairagya. Vairagya has to be developed, and the other is attainment of transcendental position above, which is transcending the 3 modes. Arjuna wants to clarify the 2 different subject matters, namely Tyaga and Sannyasa. Thus is asking the meaning of these 2 words. 2 words used in this verse to address the Supreme Lord, Rishikesha and Keshi Nishudana, are significant. Rishikesha is Krishna, master of all senses. We already discussed this in the first chapter. Who can always help us attain mental serenity. Okay, this is interesting. He can always help us attain mental serenity. So if we are mentally disturbed, we should pray to Rishikesha, because he is the master of the senses. So we can pray to him saying, Rishikesha, please help me control my mind. Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised. That is why he is calling him Rishikesha. I'm confused. Rishikesha, please help me. So you can explain everything such that I can remain equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. That is why he addresses Krishna as Keshi Nishudana. Keshi was the most formidable demon, was killed by the Lord. Now Arjuna is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. So anytime we have, that is why, we keep saying, please read. At the end of the class, we say any questions, because doubts are like demons. They can destroy us. So Arjuna also here, he has so many questions. Arjuna is asking so many questions. But he puts it across very humbly and listens to what Krishna is saying. That is why Bhagavad Gita says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Inquiry, without inquiry, we cannot, without putting inquiries, we cannot understand. We have to ask questions. But if we keep questions, doubts, and then we want to continue, sometime it will envelop us and we might lose track. So don't keep doubts. We should never keep doubts. So normally what I do is, if I have doubts, I try to first find the answer myself from Vedabase. I go to Vedabase and then search. Okay, this topic, that topic, some other topic, related topics. Try to gather information. Then see if Prabhupada has spoken anything on this topic, either is in his letters or something like this. So I'll do some homework. And if I'm not able to get any clear understanding, then I will go to some senior devotee and say, okay, I was trying to answer this question, but I seem to have got only this much answer. Can you please clarify? So then we get more clarity. But we should not keep it pending. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma palatyagam prahustyagam vichakshanaha. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned man calls sannyasa. What does sannyasa means? Not wearing yellow robes or orange robes, saffron robes. Sannyasa means giving up activities that are based on material desire. And giving up results of activities is tyaga. So giving up activities based on material desire is sannyasa. Giving up results of activities is tyaga. Tyaga doesn't mean not doing activities. Tyaga means giving up the results of all activities. The performance of activities for results has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. But activities leading to advanced spiritual knowledge are not to be given up. So one is sannyasa, is giving up activities for results, giving up activities for material desire should be given up, giving up results of activities also. But we should not stop spiritual activities. This will be made clear in the next verses. In the Vedic literature, there are many prescriptions or methods for performing sacrifice for some particular purpose, karma kanda. There are certain sacrifices to perform to attain a good son or to attain elevation to higher planets. But sacrifices prompted by desires should be stopped. However, sacrifice for the purification of one's heart or for advancement in spiritual science should not be given up. So sannyasa means basically just giving up all those activities which are materially driven. And tyaga means giving up the results of activities. Okay. Tyajyam doshavadyeke karma prahurmanishinaha yagna dana tapak karma natyajyam iti chapare Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. There are many activities in the Vedic literature which are subjects of contention. For instance, it is said that an animal can be killed in a sacrifice, yet some maintain that animal killing is completely abominable. Although animal killing in a sacrifice is recommended, the animal is not considered to be killed. The sacrifice is to give a new life to the animal. Sometimes the animal is given a new life after being killed in the sacrifice, and sometimes the animal is promoted immediately to the human form of life. But there are different opinions among sages. Some say that animal killing should always be avoided, and others say that for a specific sacrifice it is good. All these different opinions on sacrificial activity are now being clarified by the Lord himself. Now Krishna himself is saying, some learned men declare this, some other declare this. Now he will give his opinion. Nishchayam shunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusho purushabhyagra trividha samprakirtitaha. O best of Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation, Krishna is saying. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Everything is of three kinds. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Although there are differences of opinion about renunciation, here Krishna gives his judgment which should be taken as final. After all, the Vedas are different laws given by the Lord. Here the Lord is personally present and his word should be taken as final. The Lord says that the process of renunciation should be considered in terms of the modes of material nature in which it is performed. Yagnadana tapakkarman natyajyam karyam eva tat yagno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, yagna, dana, tapa are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, yagna, dana, tapa purify even the great souls. So bhakti is also about yagna, sankirtana yagna. Grihasthas have to do dana and tapa, getting up in the morning, non-eating, not eating non-prasadam, etc., etc. They're all tapa. So he purify even the great souls. The yogi should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. So samskaras. Marriage ceremony is considered to be one of these. It's called Vivaha Yagna. So should a sannyasi who is in the renounced order of life and was given up his family relations encourage marriage ceremony? Prabhupada is specifically writing it because his god brothers were questioning, why is Prabhupada getting involved in all this? He was getting his disciples married. So Prabhupada is answering. The Lord says here that any sacrifice which is meant for human welfare should never be given up. Vivaha Yagna, marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate human mind so that it may become peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, Vivaha Yagna should be encouraged even by persons in the renounced order of life. Sannyasis should never associate with women, but that does not mean that one who is in the lower stages of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in marriage ceremony. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. So this is very important. In the lower stages, these kind of sacrifices should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. How charity results in purification of heart? Because when we give something to somebody, a thought comes into our mind saying that, okay, it is not mine. It is actually for others' benefit. And so then we become pure from swartha, selfishness, self-centeredness. So charity is very good. It takes away that mood of possession of what we have. And it also makes us think about the welfare of others, which is the first step, because otherwise this whole material world, people are fully drowned in me and mine, me and mine, me and mine. Others are not in their picture. And so when we do charity, we little bit think about others once in a while. Charity is given to suitable persons. It leads one to advance spiritual life. We read that in the last chapter. Krishna is saying, do charity in the mode of goodness to the right people, right time, right place, not in the mode of passion and ignorance. Okay. So here Krishna is clearly saying that yagna, dana, tapa have to be done. No question of not doing it. Different people might have different opinions. Etani api tu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani iti me partha nishchitam matamuttamam. All these activities should be performed, but without attachment or any expectation of result. Sangam tyaktva phalani cha. Sangam meaning association or attachment. Phalani means fruit, result. So without attachment and without result, expectation of result, you should do yagna, dana, tapa. They should be performed as a matter of duty. That is my final opinion. Matam. Krishna is saying matam because people are used to opinions. Say, I think, I think, I think. Krishna is saying, I think. Okay. Krishna's thinking is the final. Although all sacrifices are purifying, one should not expect any result by such performances. See, this is also for lower karma kandiya sacrifices. Now, when we are doing sacrifice like Sankirtana Yagna, and what is our expectation result is Krishna Prema. Now, it's not that we should give up. We should not expect any result. We should expect, but this expectation of result totally depends on the mercy of the Lord. So in that way, we cannot expect, but we hope, saying that, okay, Krishna, if you can show mercy, then I'll get Krishna Prema. But material goals, karma kandiya, material goals, that we should not expect in result. In other words, all sacrifices which are meant for material advancement should be given up, but sacrifices that purify one's existence and elevate one to the spiritual plane should not be stopped. Everything that leads to Krishna consciousness must be encouraged. In Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said that any activity which leads to devotional service to the Lord should be accepted. So this is also anukulyasya sankalpaha in the Sharanagati, which we will discuss in this chapter. 6 angas of Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpaha. Whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness should be encouraged. That is the highest criterion of religion. A devotee of the Lord should accept any kind of work, sacrifice, or charity which will help him in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord. Of course, I mean, we should accept anything, but we should also have a little bit ability to do it. For example, or we should prepare for it. For example, somebody who's never done cooking is said, okay, tomorrow you have to do cooking and you're alone. Don't take up such a service. You say, no, I have not done this before. Or you take up that service and do enough preparation before you can discharge it. Can't be like, okay, next 1 hour you have to start cooking and I don't know ABCD of cooking. And we can't say, no, I have to take up any service. No, because then the service will get spoiled and then the intended impact will be affected. So we should not be very whimsical or mindless about these things as well. But we should try to put in our effort to prepare. So we can say, no, not today. I'm not prepared. Give me 1 week's time or whatever, right? Like, let me prepare myself. And then it'll also be nice if somebody can be present with me first time I'm doing like this, some arrangement should be made so that the service should happen nicely. Not that simply, we just taken up the service and not enough preparation, not enough skill, not like that. See, because Prabhupada used to get very upset when services taken up were not done properly. And he would see the sincerity of the person, right? But if it was not done properly, he would say, why did you take it up then? Straightforward. And devotees used to feel very bad. Prabhupada, I put so much of effort. And effort is not enough. You're full. No intelligence. Prabhupada used to scold like this. So which means that we should do it nicely because it is for Krishna. It's for Krishna's pleasure. So very clearly, without attachment or expectation of result, all activities should be performed. But when it is connected to Krishna, then we can hope and pray that Krishna can give mercy. But we should not be attached also, in the sense sometimes some devotees are attached. No, I only like to do this service. No, that is not correct. You might have the skill to do something nicely and you should do that. But that doesn't mean that you don't take up any other service at all. And that is attachment. And result, I preached. I've been preaching for 1 year. No devotees are not become serious. Okay, let me stop preaching. No expectation of result. Okay, Krishna, I will try. If your desire, let it happen. Otherwise, no. So in bhakti also, we don't have expectation of immediate result of each and every activity like this, and we say, okay, if didn't happen, I will stop this or something. But ultimately, we expect, we are hoping, saying that Krishna showers His mercy. For that only we are doing, so that we can make progress, we can serve Him better, etc. But each and every activity we don't expect results, and then based on the results only we decide whether I'll do or not. No, that's not correct. नियतस्य तु संन्यास कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागस् तामस परिकीर्तितः. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Okay, so in this, okay, let's read these verses, then we can discuss this. Work for material satisfaction must be given up, but activities which promote one to spiritual activity, like cooking for the Supreme Lord and offering food to the Lord, and then accepting the food prasadam, are recommended. It is said that a person in the renounced order of life should not cook for himself. Cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Supreme Lord is not prohibited. Similarly, a sannyasi may perform a marriage to help his disciple in advancement of Krishna consciousness. If one renounces such activities, it is understood that he is acting in the mode of darkness. Anyway, we'll understand from our perspective what does it means. But Krishna is saying here, prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up prescribed duties because of illusion, illusion means without clear understanding, such renunciation is in the mode of ignorance. Dukkham ityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhaya tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labet. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome. First is giving up prescribed duty because of illusion. Second is giving up prescribed duty as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort. Is said to be in the mode of passion. Troublesome, oh, this is too troublesome, so let me give it up. And I'll call it, oh, tyaga. Because I'm doing bhakti, I'm giving this up. Such action never leads to elevation of renunciation. See, actually, this is very, very important. Many times, especially men, they are very easy. They keep finding easy ways of artificial renunciation. This kind of escape route we call. Okay, I'm doing bhakti now. I should not take care of any activities of the house. I should not take care of any responsibilities. All this is nonsense, right? Speculation. We just give it up saying that, no, it's troublesome, so I will not do it. But then we'll tell outside saying that, no, I've developed vairagya for all these household activities and all. I'm now devotee. Nothing like that. It's just troublesome, so we want to give it up. Otherwise, bodily discomfort. Somebody say, okay, carry these boxes, books from here to there. And say, oh, my body will pain, this, that, and say, okay, no, I don't want to do that. This is all mode of passion. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activity. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by his rising early in the morning one can advance his transcendental consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or because such activities are considered troublesome. So Prabhupada is saying, see, if you are earning, no problem, you earn, but don't earn to enjoy. If you think, okay, I have to earn, I don't feel like sitting at home, okay, fine, you earn, but give it to Krishna. And getting up early in the morning and say, no, I don't want to get up because it's too troublesome. No, this is again renunciation in the mode of passion. Result of passionate work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation. So there is result of renunciation, which is detachment from material and attachment to spiritual. But if we give up these things like this in the mode of passion, then we will not get attachment to Krishna consciousness. We will simply end up renouncing because we just wanted to escape, and we escaped. But we can't elevate ourselves. So this kind of artificial, that is why in bhakti we don't talk about vairagya at all. We talk about yukta vairagya, falgu vairagya. We don't talk about vairagya by itself because people will interpret vairagya however they want. Yukta Vairagya is the proper Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya is the monkey type Vairagya, Markata Vairagya, incomplete Vairagya. Incomplete Vairagya is just giving up stuff. Yukta Vairagya means not giving up anything, using everything in Krishna's service, doing everything in relationship with Krishna's service. That is what we have to practice. Karyam ityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga satviko mataha. Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Prescribed duties must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for result. He should be dissociated from gunas. Man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna, and when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendentally. So this is a very high standard, what Prabhupada is saying here. You work in a factory, not associate with anything, get money, give it to Krishna. Very high, very high. So we should understand, saying that it's not that we give up our prescribed duty, but we do our prescribed duty, but use the results in Krishna, for Krishna. At the same time, when we are at work, we don't associate much. Prabhupada is saying here, we should not associate with people. Associate means not get influenced by their thoughts. We should influence them with our thoughts, not get influenced by their thoughts. And whatever money comes should be used for in Krishna's service. However, having said that, at some point of time, everybody has to move from Grihastha to Vanaprastha. Now, this is forced Vairagya, forced renunciation, wherein we are forced to give up material activities. We are forced to give up prescribed duties, right? That is absolutely encouraged. But not when we are in Grihastha ashram and when we have a need to work, not that we artificially just give up. That is whimsical in the mode of ignorance, passion. So goodness is that we do our duty without being attached. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to give up everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you go back. Internally, you be in the mood of service to Krishna. Externally, just be like a normal karmi. Just do your work. He had a business, so just do your business. Just be normal outside. But internally, always be in Krishna consciousness. So this is a very, very tall order, very difficult, but we have to keep practicing. But more importantly, we should also plan for Vanaprastha, getting out of Grihastha, because earning money will not have any end. How much money will we earn? How long will we earn? It can go on and on and on, right? But when we are working, we should be in this mode of Tyaga, wherein we are not attached to the work, we are not attached to the result. We are doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna and for us, our progress in spiritual life. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, let's just finish this because this is in the same topic. Okay, no, it's all anyway. It's fine. We'll continue from here next. Okay, so we'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, we can try to discuss. This is very applicable for Grihasthas. Okay, no questions. Excellent. Either everything is clear or nothing is clear.
Nothing is clear.
Not true.
Not true.
Actually, like, can you explain like prescribed duties we know, but still actually for our thing, what are they?
Prescribed duties. Okay, big topic. So prescribed duties we should understand as per Varnashrama. Okay, now obviously the first question is what is our Varna? So there are two ways of looking at it. One is want to practice. Okay, one part of the answer is very easy. Stri Dharma is very easy. Stri Dharma means not copying Purusha Dharma. Simple. It's the easiest way of defining Stri Dharma. Because nowadays everybody is out to copy somebody else's Dharma. Stri Dharma means not copying Purusha Dharma, which means that opposite of Purusha Dharma. Purusha is outside, Stri is inside. So Stri Dharma is very easy to understand. Taking care of family, children, elders, giving culture, Krishna consciousness, love and affection to everybody at home, helping, making sure that they can make progress in their spiritual life, etc. Along with that, they also need to know, based on the varna of their husband, they also need to know some responsibilities of that varna, which are relevant for women. Purusha, but generally Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now, many times we also somewhat know, for example, I mean, I used to give this example. If somebody asks me to do sales, I cannot do sales. I am not Vaishya candidate. Neither am I a Kshatriya. Neither am I a Shudra, in the sense that I am not ready to listen to anybody giving me direction. So from beginning, I somehow knew I don't fit into any of this. But then I didn't have enough to really, develop more Brahminical qualities. And now the problem is that our vritti, what we are working, where we are working, and our varna are completely not connected. They're completely, disconnected. So, and that is why we have what is called as, what is this? Job dissatisfaction, because we are in a job which actually doesn't align to our propensities. Now, it is very difficult, obviously, to say, okay, I'm Brahmanical, so let me change. There are devotees who have done that. I know devotees who given up Vaishya propensity professions to take up Brahmanical professions because they are Brahmanical nature, which is amazing for those who can do it. But those who cannot do it, sthane sthita sudhivadagatam tanuvan manobi. So what we should do? We should do whatever work we are doing, and use it in Krishna's service. So mainly Purusha's responsibility is to earn livelihood for the house, and he is the spiritual master of the house, so which means that he should know spiritual practices, he should be following, and he should guide others in the family. Right? Primarily, these are the duties. There can be a lot more, but at least these are very basic, which have to be followed. Now, in addition to all this, Nitya Dharma has to be followed. This is called Naimittika Dharma. Naimittika Dharma means because we have taken a material body, we have certain material responsibilities. But then we also have Nitya Dharma. Nitya Dharma is eternal Dharma, which is Bhakti Seva. So that Bhakti Seva has to go on irrespective of what our Varna or Ashrama is. Yeah, this is all I think important excerpts, unless if anybody, all of you would have heard a lot more about Varnashrama, so you can add if you think anything else is important. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Anything? Any comments?
Hare Krishna, one question.
Hare Prabhu. You'll have to speak up a bit, Ramakrishna Prabhu. I'm not able to hear you.
You okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Either a material desire or a spiritual desire, it comes with sanction of Krishna, right now, Prabhuji?
No. Desire doesn't come from him. Desire comes from Jiva.
The result of the desire.
Result of the desire, material desire, of course. I mean, Sarvakarana, Krishna is the ultimate. We know that there are 5 reasons, right, for material result. Paramatma is involved, actually, not Krishna directly. But that is also mostly dependent on karma phala. But there has to be sanction of Paramatma. But Paramatma doesn't interfere and say, no. If this person is, he deserves this result, but I will not give it. No, Paramatma will not do that. Paramatma sanction is generally there because everything is happened based on karma phala, that law of karma. So in that sense, it is there. So why this is said that Paramatma is present? Because many people think blindly saying that I am the sole doer of my work. So for that it is said, no, you're not. Final sanction is Paramatma, but generally Paramatma sanctions based on our karma phala. So It's not that he is not the that way responsible, but he is sanctioner. But material karma phala is based on material karma. What kind of karma we have done. Spiritual result of spiritual activities is purely mercy of Krishna. Causeless mercy. That is why it's called causeless mercy, because Krishna might decide to give mercy to somebody, he might not decide to give mercy to somebody else. There are no rules and regulations for Krishna's mercy, saying, see, I have done so many rounds, and this you should give me this mercy. Doesn't work that way. It's up to him. If he wants to give, he can give, otherwise he will not give.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. But more important thing is the desire actually. Desire, we have to develop the desire. That is very important. And how do we develop desire? Based on association. We should develop the right desires. Okay.
Prabhuji, can the desire be like not related to our like mode or our ability?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it doesn't have to be dependent on anything material, right? Especially spiritual desires. Spiritual desires have to be like, for example, I dream saying that I want to reach out to 1,000 people. I want to preach to 1,000 people. No, I mean, if I'm preaching to 10 people today and I want to preach to 1,000 people, somebody who hears it will say, laugh. It's a joke, right? But I don't care. I mean, I have that sincere desire saying that I want to be able to reach 1,000 people, and that's my desire. That's it. Now, whether I have the ability, whether I have the nothing, it doesn't have to be considered. It has to be just a pure desire. Of course, then it will not manifest itself, right? It's not that suddenly I'm desiring tomorrow 1,000 people are waiting for. No. Then we should also be ready to put that effort. But the desire doesn't have to be rational. If your question is saying that does the desire have to be rational? No, desire can be rational. That what you are asking, Ramakrishna Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. When Prabhupada called his society then his International Society for Krishna Consciousness, very international. It's so local. Not even like next door people know about this society, and Prabhupada here calling it international. The Prabhupada's vision and desire manifested. Okay, anybody else has anything? Okay, fine. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnava ki jai. Amveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad.
Krishna. Hare Krishna Putti.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.